In the last video, I showed you how to create a prototype and kind of how to share your prototype with other people and how people can leave you comments and how you can kind of look at those comments. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to kind of start your design system. A design system could get potentially really large, but I'm just going to show you kind of the beginning steps of starting to create one. So I went ahead and took some of the elements that we had from our screen and created a couple of these elements in this one frame. And basically, let's start off with the colors in our design system. That's a good thing to start off with. So notice here in the background here on the side, we don't really have anything yet. So if I come over here and just choose this color here, this circle, I could come here on the side and notice where it's the fill, there's a little icon with the 4 dots that says style. I can hit that style and then I can come here and hit plus. And what that does, it allows me to kind of name this color in my style. So I'm calling it primary, this color right here, and I'm saying create style. So now we created the style. Notice that wasn't there and now it's there. And if I come out of this and I just hit on top of the canvas, remember we used to have this blank, there used to be nothing there, and now we have local styles and it has, here it says primary. So now when we create some elements, I could come here and actually select the various elements and come here on the side and choose that and then choose this color, and now we've affected based on the color that we selected there earlier. And then I could always edit this primary color to another color. So I could come here and hit this icon and then come over here and I can change that to another color. And look, notice how it's affecting everywhere where that style has been applied, which could be extremely powerful when you have so many screens. So I'm going to undo that and go back to our original color. I'm going to delete these screens that we made earlier. I'm going to come back over here and continue with our design system. I'm selecting the circle again. I'm coming here to where the fill and I'm clicking those icons and I'm clicking on plus. While that's selected, that's the white color, so I'm just calling that white, create style. Now we just created that style, so now we have 2. I'm coming out over here and look, we have primary and then we have white. Let me just do this one more in front of you. So I'm going to choose this gradient, the specific gradient that we have. Coming over here and hitting this icon with the 4 dots again, and then I'm coming to this plus and then hitting the plus, tapping that, and then giving this thing a title, calling it gradient, and creating that style. Then I'm coming back over here and hitting on the canvas, and you can see here now we have gradient style. I'm going to show you how to apply the style to some of our existing elements. I'm holding shift and I'm choosing this element that we have gradient, and then I'm choosing this element and I'm choosing this element by holding shift. I can select multiple elements. Let me apply that gradient that we just created to those 3 items. So I just choose the little icon there and I'm just choosing this gradient. Now you didn't see any difference because we already had that gradient, but now that it's applied as a style, I could come here on the canvas and you could see here that where it's gradient when I'm choosing canvas, and I can hit this little icon and I can choose properties and then I can change this around, and notice how it's affecting here, and here. At the same time, it's affecting all of them. So you could see that those have been applied there and how powerful that could be. Let me show you a few examples of how you can do the same idea with typography as well. So let's come over here and choose the first name. And when I go to text, I can click this icon here to create a new style. And I'm hitting plus. And I can just call this maybe like something like H1 since it's such a big copy. Usually you want to call these things something descriptive, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just showing it to you that way. So then I'm hitting create style, and now we have an H1. So now when you go here and you look at your style here on the side, you could see that there is an H1. And I could come here and apply that to our component that we made earlier. By applying it to this component, it will affect all the instances of that component, so you don't have to go to each thing. So I'm going to click this typography where it says first. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add, and all I do is just hit the H1, and now it's been applied. So you can see now when I hit Bob, you can see the H1 has been applied. Let's do the same thing to the last name. I'm going to change that to 50%, the way that we had that set up. And I'm going to come here to text and hit that little icon and hit a plus right next to it. and just call this H2 for now. Notice the H1 is capital and the H2 isn't capital. I mean, I can change that. Just come over here, hit that little edit, and I can come here at the top and change that to a capital H as well. You could always change these names as necessary. So now I'm going to come here to our component, to our last name. I'm going to choose that, and then I'm going to come here and choose a little icon, and I'm going to choose H2. And now you could see that when we come to our file, when I hit the last name, now we have an H2 here applied to it. Or if I hit the last name here, you could see the H2 has been applied to it. And so that was just a quick demonstration of how you can get started in creating your design system and how powerful that is. In the next video, I'm going to show you how plugins work and how you can install them.